while out on Facebook. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and let Jason take over and let him introduce himself, and then I'll keep watching as people come in late. So,
yeah, if you can let people in, I'm letting in about a person every 30 seconds. So
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. So before I turn on the PowerPoint, I just want to say welcome. If you're like me, this is probably your 7th Zoom meeting of the day. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate you guys showing up because your time is valuable. And my commitment is to share something of complete value so that you can take something away from today and get started. There are coaches that are, here's a piece, and if you want the secrets, come find me. And I'm a little nauseous with that. Like, really, people are really struggling. The economic crisis is really circling and looming. And now is the time to adapt, and not only adapt, but to even, shall I say, have fun. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Let me go ahead and open up my screen share. All right. So I can see a few faces to the side. I bring this over. Becky, does that cover the PowerPoint? You're on mute.
No.
Yeah, you're below the PowerPoint.
You can see it, Lynn?
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah.
All right, great. That's all I needed. It's always good to check, because I remember 2 years ago getting halfway through my PowerPoint and everyone was on mute and they were trying to speak to me. And so it's always good to check in the beginning. So creating challenges and new conversations online is what we're going to talk about today. And I just have one quick slide on myself. If I move these pictures over here, you see me in the middle as this young snot-nosed kid. I'm a 3rd generation entrepreneur. So my grandfather was an entrepreneur. My father was an entrepreneur. And my father was into real estate and property management. And he had an extra building. And he said, I got 4 kids. What if I gave it to them to create something with it? So at 10 years old, I was the youngest of 4. We decided to open a dry cleaner. And this was pre-internet. All you had to do was outsource to a bigger dry cleaner and learn how to work the till and do customer service. And so it was a really good experience for me to understand how creating connection is the most important part of your business. So now we've moved to online, especially, and I take the lead. You're not going to those face-to-face meetings. Online connection can work. And what I want to talk about today is how you can create challenges and new conversations that really work. How do you get started with that? And what's after the idea phase? So this is a company I worked with. I was an associate for a business firm called Heart of Business. And Heart of Business wanted to help small business owners, still does, who want to make a difference and need to make a profit. And they worked with a lot of companies that just wanted more than hardcore manipulation tactics. And if you look at this slide, it's a little blurry, but you're looking at strangers to prospects, prospects to customers, customers to raving fans. So really there's 3 journeys that happen here. Now the entire internet is filled like billion people. If you have services that are global, you have access to a lot of people. But even if you're local, the internet is the most affordable way for you to attract and help the right clients. Now, this says here, the sacred moment, giving something valuable away, getting something back. Now that happens before the customer. Does anybody have an example of what you could get from someone and what you could give them?
Just information?
Yeah, so what type of information?
Relevant.
Yeah, so what is relevant information? Give me a concrete example.
How much money do you need to have to retire comfortably?
Okay, great. So if you're giving them how much money you need to retire comfortably, getting their email and their name is a valuable exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's where we fall down. We get on social media and we spend so much time speaking into echo chambers, and we forget that one of the most important aspects of your business is your database. I want to say it again. If you're ever going to sell your business after you're done, the database is one of the most important assets. Now, what's the database? It's the number of contacts that are active and relatable through phone number, email, could be snail mail, but that you have actual information of potential clients that can become real clients. Now, the challenge here is we spend all of this time just social media. People are wasting hundreds of hours in a given month on social media that's not producing you the results that you want in your business. And so I want to talk about that today. You know, we take a look and like, why online challenges? And my why is because anytime I go online, I'm finding conversations about mask versus no mask, Black Lives Matter, protests, riots, economic crisis, the upcoming election. Are you on the right? Are you on the left? Are you in the middle? What do you think? What do you believe? And there's just a deluge of information. And now, in the last 10 years, there's fake information. So when you're online, there are actually people trying to manipulate your thoughts to have you think a certain way, so you respond a certain way, so you react a certain way, so you vote a certain way, and so you buy a certain way. And that's not what I want to talk about today. If you want to go to that seminar, you can probably find it down the street, and they'll charge you a lot of money, and they'll teach you manipulation, fear tactics, and they work. So if you want to sell your soul and make a lot of money, that's always an option. No judgment here. What I'd like to teach you today is how to make deep connections, make money, and build relationships. And your audience is literally dying to have more fun. They are literally looking to engage with something beyond a bot or AI. They want an experience where other people can play with them. And I know this is true because I've seen the number on challenges. Raise your hand if you've done a challenge, any kind of challenge, whether it was some fun before and after photo challenge, past 10 years on Facebook, any kind of challenge. Okay. So people are doing challenges because they want to get engaged, and you can help them engage with your product and service. Now we take a look. I find that there's two options for online engagement. These are the two strategies, although there's many more than two. These are the top two. The first one is high-end SEO and ads. Consult, engage potential clients into paying clients. Now, the second one is offer fun and engaging ways to connect by revamping free consults. And what I mean, a discovery session or call me for a free consult. You want to revamp that. And this should say and or create a challenge. Now, the reason I like this one is we take a look and there's a lot of problems with paid SEO. One, it's costly. If you're paying for regular Google ads or regular Facebook ads, unless you have the system tuned in to like the finesse, you're losing a lot of income by paying a lot of money, and the return on the investment might not be there. The second, it's confusing. If you've been on the back end of Facebook ads, it's like being in NASA's control center. I mean, there is so much fine tuning you can do on a Facebook ad launch. And the last is it just needs continued fine tuning because they change the algorithm. I would say Facebook, Google ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, they're changing the algorithm probably every 3 to 6 months. So just as you finally find your sweet spot, it's like, oh, we don't do it that way anymore. And you lose all of that momentum. So what I want to do today is I am committed to teaching you a way to get attention without financial huge risk. Now, challenges are a fun way to engage potential clients. And I have some examples. Bottle flip, ALS, Facebook challenge. You've probably heard of some of these, maybe not all of these. And I want to just take a look a little bit deeper here. So I'm going to do that. ALS, and this is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. You've probably heard of it. It's a degenerative disorder. It attacks yourself, you break down, and ultimately you die. The prognosis for this is not good, and you may have experienced someone in your life, maybe a family member or a friend, but it's the real deal. And ALS realized it's not sexy. People don't like talk about it. What can we actually do? So they created the Ice Bucket Challenge. Now this is Benedict Cumberbatch. If you go online, you can see Bill Gates, you can see tons of famous people doing the ALS Challenge. And what happened was it got so viral that they increased their annual funding for research around the world by 187%. Now, what was the cost? The cost was very little because it started to go viral organically, meaning everybody wanted on board. Everyone wanted to do it. Now, what was it? It was basically raising money and pouring a bucket of ice on your head. Now, that sounds ridiculous. And here's the truth. People want fun. They are tired of being told what to do and how to do it. Why you should get into real estate, why you should do financial planning, why you should get into banking. Like whatever your product or service is, someone's already told them they need to do it, and they're not listening to the simple steps they could do to improve their life because they're tired of being talked to. They want to be talked with, and they want to engage. So we take a look at a different one. We come down again. Van's shoe flip. Now, I have 4 kids. My oldest boy, for a year, did bottle flips. If there was a bottle lying around, he would flip the bottle, see if he could land it, really the bottom part down. So Vans caught on, and they were like, how about the Vans Flip Challenge? And people around the world grabbed their Vans, and they flipped the shoes. And if you could land it on the sole of the feet, people applauded, and that was it. Now, for you and I, we might be like, wow, people are like dumb. They're not dumb. They're wanting to be entertained. There has to be a wing of your business about edutainment. That's education, that's entertaining. Now, what Vans realized was the flipping of the shoe got them present again, because Vans have been around for a long time. I remember in high school, and I went to high school in the 80s, that they were cool then. Now, I looked up, Vans does $4 billion in sales, and they consistently have 20% growth. That's unheard of. Now, how? They stay relevant. How do you stay relevant? Do something that's already working.
That one was confusing, Jason. I actually forgot they were shoes, and I hurt my shoulder flipping a Toyota minivan.
Well, it's a good thing you have shirts to hide
it. Thanks, Lynn.
So what if you could create a big challenge at a low cost? And I really want you to start thinking about this seriously. There's a woman in Tacoma, Becky, I don't know her name, but of all things, she works with Medicare.
Oh, Joyce.
And Joyce and I laid out a Medicare challenge. She now has the layout of a complete challenge of what you need to know about Medicare. And here's the thing about your business. I don't know anything about Medicare, like really. And she was like, well, I want to tell them about Plan D. And I want to tell them the difference between Plan A and Plan B. And I want to tell them about the drug pharmacy thing that they could save money over here. And I'm like, this is genius. Like basically you're going to help people have fun learning about Medicare, which isn't that fun. And so whatever your business, if Joyce can do it in Medicare, you can do it in your business.
Jason, as someone who has been dealing with Medicare for a whole lot of years,
yeah,
if she could make it clear and easy
Yeah.
She's a gift because it is so confusing trying to figure out what you are doing, when, why, how. So
Yeah,
good for her.
I have auditory like connection. So Iris, I can tell from your voice, this is a client of mine. And what I can tell you about Joyce is she knew Medicare backwards and forwards where she could explain it to a 12-year-old. And when you have that kind of knowledge, like Iris, you know plants backwards and forward. You know how to grow gardens. And that knowledge is something that normal person doesn't know. Like, you think canning might be simple because you do it all the time, but for someone that doesn't know how to can your own food, laying it out for them is tremendously helpful. So let's get to the how-to. I started doing challenges a year ago, and it's done a couple of things. One is it's increased my database, so I have more potential clients that potentially will do business with me later. It's also helped me educate people on things that I think are tremendously important at no cost. And the final thing is every time I do a challenge, I gain a new contract, and my contracts are worth about $3,000. So it's worth my time. And I love helping the people, even if they're not going to do business with me. So I want you to get out of how do I do the thing that gets me the most return that doesn't feel good for me, but I know it pays me the best, and into how do I help the most people, knowing the right people are going to pay me for what I do, and that I can have a really good sustainable living. So the first, you can identify a 5 to 7 day challenge that has your audience engaged. If you don't know, think about if you were at a fair, or if you got to do a public talk, or you were recruited to speak somewhere, or the newspaper asked you to do an online article or a blog, what would you educate people about? Now, once you know what you could educate people about, break that into steps. Maybe it's 5 steps, maybe it's 7 steps, maybe yours is 21 steps. Now from there, you have the information to create a challenge. Now what I use Eventbrite, I've used Facebook meetups, Facebook events, I've used meetups. I like Eventbrite because it's so damn easy to use, and it's free, and it gives you all sorts of tracking, and it has a database in there for you to be able to email people on a regular basis. Now the last piece is really be of service. Don't think like, how can I get them information and then they pay for the real goods? But really, how can I really be of service to this audience that's really struggling? Iris brought up Medicare and how confusing it is. Joyce is going to be helping so many people just with a tip a day, because the reason that sometimes we do challenges broken out is people are already overwhelmed. And when you can break it down into just 1 point per day, it allows them to take that point into action, to take 1 step, and then it's not overwhelming. And if you can help people take steps that they've been wanting to take for years, they're going to hire you. All right. Some of my best challenges: 7-day video challenge, 5-day LinkedIn challenge, 21-day practice what you preach challenge. I recommend getting good at Canva. If you're not good at Canva, just hire someone. This was actually out of Canva. I just changed a few things. It was a 7-day video challenge for wellness business owners. My past has been in acupuncture. I've worked with naturopaths, homeopaths, chiropractors. If they're in the wellness industry, I've worked with them. I work with small business owners that want the people of the world to live healthier lives. And when I launched this, most launches back in the day used to be like a 3-week launch, and I decided to give myself 7 days. So I launched on Eventbrite. Within 7 days, I got 48 out of 50, and I limited it to 50 people because I had a team of past clients that had already done a video challenge with me, so that I didn't get overwhelmed by 48 videos a day. And I can't tell you the number of positive reviews that I got for people that had wanted to be on video and just avoided it. And just with 1 tip a day and 1 video prompt at the end of 7 days, they were making really good videos online. It also garnered me more than 1 client. And so it was a win-win. And this was just April 24th of this year. That was like right when COVID started getting like interesting. So we look at this one, this is really recent, July 27th to July 31st. I decided I wanted to shorten it. So I took 25 people into a 5-day LinkedIn challenge. What I did is I did video prompts every day of your profile, how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, how to update it, how to get testimonials, how to attract new clients, and a couple other tips that were really, really valuable for people in a 5-minute video every day for 7 days. And, oh, I'm sorry, for 5 days. It wasn't 7 days. Now, this one, the launch was only open for 48 hours and it sold out in 36 hours. 25 people, about 7 of them I knew, the rest of them I'd never heard of. This is one that I helped my client do this past month. Aria is Dr. Kanita, who's out of Clarksburg, Maryland. She's a chiropractor, acupuncturist. Most people don't know what Qigong is, but it's like Tai Chi, but it's internal. So you don't need a lot of space. And during COVID, it's a great tool to boost your immunity. So she started a free 5-day Qigong course to help reduce stress, anxiety, and improve your immune function. And it's now rolling. And any guesses what the 6th day is? No guesses? The 6th day, it rolls into her $99 paid course.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's already in flow that people are like, wow, 5 days, I'm done it. I could do 5 days. Oh, they're like $99 and I could start getting more support. Great. And it's been very low hanging fruit to get step to step. So there are some pitfalls with this. One is you want to do things that are safe. Like Lynn was joking about flipping his Toyota truck, but there is like a Tide Pod challenge. A Tide Pod is like a pod that you put in your washer and people put it in their mouth and they bite on it and it soaks up their mouth so their mouth foams and it's totally poisonous. So people are getting really sick. Now, why would your challenge be dangerous? Here's the thing about challenges. They might not just be dangerous physically, they could be dangerous litigiously. So you really want to educate rather than tell people to do things so that you're informing and not breaking any laws. Now, this is so true when it comes to financial planners, real estate brokers. Like it's a litigious environment and you can still educate. Just think about your newsletters that have already gone out. That's education. You want to make it super simple. Now, I did this horrible thing with the LinkedIn challenge. I'm getting a little burnt out on Facebook because, you know, if you look at the stats that, you know, they are tracking basically everything you're doing. The reason they want you to sign up with other platforms with your Facebook account is so that Facebook will track you even when you're offline if you don't check a box. So they are the ultimate spy. And they've let you know this, you just haven't read through their code of ethics and their laws. So basically they're tracking you at all times. And I was like, well, let me try something that's not tracking you, which is MeWe. MeWe is a really good new platform that's really like Facebook was probably 15 years ago, but it's a little clunky because they're working it out and they don't have the dollars to make all the algorithms and the changes, but they don't spy on you. They won't sell your information and they're doing a good job. I think in a couple of years, they're going to get more figured out. But what happened is the onboarding of these people into my group, because I hadn't used it a lot, was a pain in my ass. And this simple challenge turned into this like, oh, I'm dealing with all these logistics and why would I ever choose a new platform on social media to teach someone 5 days on another platform? Like that was a huge mistake. And here's the thing, like, even in the follow-up of that mistake challenge, I gained a new client. And so like, fail. We are so afraid of failure. If we can just get over like, I've had this idea for a challenge for a while. I'm going to go do it. If you go fail, your business is going to do better next year. But that's just a fact that we are in our head and thinking way too much about things. So if you've never read the book, The Lean Startup, there is a reason why companies that are super nimble and super lean can really pivot during times like COVID, right? If you aren't pivoting your marketing plan right now for fall or for winter, you are not prepared. Because the chances of either another surge of COVID or another flu coming in, there are so many unknowns. How's the election going to swing? So pivoting your marketing plan now is essential. Please don't wait on that. Work with me, work with someone else. I don't care who you work with, but make sure you're investing in your pivot now rather than wait and see. So I just want to get a finger on the pulse before I continue. So I'm going to stop my share screen. I just want to take a moment to take any questions if you have them and just see some faces, because sometimes just going through my PowerPoint, I need to feel the energy. It's a different thing than being live in the room.
I have a question.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so do you charge for your challenge? A question and a comment. Do you charge for your challenges?
I don't charge for my challenges, no.
Okay.
They're usually 5 days, they're 7 days. Eventbrite makes it very easy that if I wanted to challenge, I could. But to me, I don't have the energy yet to try to make people pay when they don't know me. I'd rather give them something for free and earn their trust.
Okay. And then the other thing is I want to make a comment about challenges. I started a 14-day video Facebook Live challenge 56 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing these Facebook Lives to this day.
Yeah.
So they do work to get you motivated to do whatever it is that you either don't like doing or don't know how to do or need more information about.
Yeah, no, it's 56 days, you're still doing it. And that's what got you to stop thinking about it and start doing it. So I appreciate you chiming in and letting people know that challenges do work. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for chiming in. Your questions help me because this isn't a vacuum. This is a two-way conversation.
So Jason, I have a question for you. So
yeah, Kenny.
When you are building your challenge and you're inviting your people, do you hand select them or do you just put it out in a random place? Well, I mean, Eventbrite or Facebook or whatever, that you've mentioned. I'm trying to figure out, like, I have, 1,500 people like on my Facebook page. Probably half of them are businesses.
Yeah.
Then half of them are probably personal.
Okay.
So how do you go about doing that? And then you said that you put a ceiling on the amount of people.
Yeah.
I guess is my question.
I do. Yeah. I always put a ceiling on it because for me, high touch for free is really valuable and they can know that I'm the real deal rather than a charlatan that's just trying to take and go.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the first part. The second part is, it's a great question. Do I just throw it out there? No. What I do is I have a system where, one, I launch it in my newsletter and I have a pretty engaging following. Two, I get it up on Eventbrite. And three, I push it out on social. So I usually do LinkedIn, Facebook, sometimes Instagram. And those three things don't take me that long. We're looking at about a half hour in for the marketing of it. And then I'm done. They fill themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great. I can take one more question if there is one before we go back into it. And while I'm waiting, if there is a question, I just got to give Matthew a shout out for Backdrop. You win today. That's some serious marketing you have behind you. All right.
Have you worked with financial advisors on that LinkedIn one? Because we can't get recommendations. Things are relaxing a little because we're kind of stuck at home, but it's a challenge. Have you worked with them?
I've worked with financial planners before, not on challenges, but as clients. And really, financial planning is always comes down to building relationships. And normally, is this Yvonne speaking? Because I don't know who's speaking right now.
Yeah, that was Yvonne.
Okay, great. So normally, the easiest way in for financial planners is all financial planners have an assessment, and we're about to move into the assessment phase. And so I'd like to talk to you about that. In addition, for financial planners, like, I'm willing to give you all my secrets away today. Like, if you look at the stats of the number of people who don't have a will, that is a real easy entry point for a financial planner that doesn't break any laws or rules, to get people information about what they need to get their will done.
That's great. Thank you. And we do that. So
Yeah. And so double down, and most people don't know that. How many people knew, like, a financial planner is like, can totally help you do your will, and could even do it for free if they want? Yeah. So great. So you have a handful of people that did, a handful of people that didn't. So we're going to move back into the presentation, and I want to get into free consults, because before I do that, raise your hand if on your website it says call for a discovery session, call for a free conversation, anything like that, raise your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6, maybe more, because some people don't have their cameras on. Now, out of you 6, how many people have their own landing page for that, rather than just it being somewhere on the homepage? Michael wins today. All right, great. Here we go. Okay. So beyond the free consult, if everyone could turn on mute, there's someone in a wind tunnel. Yeah, thanks. So you want to brand it other than just like, call me for your free consult. Everybody says that. Call me for your free assessment. Call me for your free discovery session. Like, the space is very noisy right now, and you've got to brand it to set yourself apart. Now, the second part, what I said about Michael winning, having a landing page for that specifically, it raises you in the search engine optimization. It allows people to go to a specific page that can speak more. You can have a testimonial on that page. It allows you to share the page rather than your home site and be like, oh, it's in the top right-hand corner. Go look for it there. You can just send the URL, gives them all the information. So we take a look. I've worked with a lot of acupuncturists. If I just plugged in acupuncture free consult, this person has done a great job because they have their own page about it. So I only captured part of the page, but new patient, free 15-minute consult. If you can't find time that works for you, please call the office. Now, here's how they make it better. This copy right here, as opposed to you're already in, if it works for you, great. You want to go to empathy. Empathy in marketing works every time. So imagine being in the shoes of someone that wakes up at 3 a.m. and they have pain in their body and they can't go back to sleep. So they're like, maybe I'll try acupuncture, acupuncture consult. This page pops up and it says, if you're experiencing pain or a loss of sleep, we can help, right? So whatever it is that you want to help them with, name that. Now, in addition, they don't have any testimonials here. And so they've built the page, but having a testimonial allows other people to know that you're legit. So this is what I did, and this is just the top part of my page. Chocolate strategy sessions, because I want to have fun. Best 30 minutes of business session that chocolate can buy. Business coaching for chocolate, crazy strategy. I wondered the same thing until I put the plan in motion, and here's what happened. If you go to that page, there's a testimonial, and it tells you a little bit about what you get. I've gotten chocolate from around the world. I did this 2 years ago, and I had to turn it off because you know those crisper drawers in a refrigerator? I had 2 full. from people doing chocolate strategy sessions. Now, my conversion rate was still good. So it was worth it. And yet I needed to turn it off. Now I turned it back on because I went through all that chocolate and I wanted more chocolate. And I also love to just roll up my sleeves and dig into someone's business. I love business strategy. And most people are doing like paint by numbers. I saw this online. I bought the book. That doesn't work. As someone who was a doctor of Oriental medicine, I worked in a hospital. I've worked with hundreds of patients. You need an individually tailored plan for you because there's only one you. And when you play to your strengths, you're playing to things that other people aren't doing. So my chocolate strategy session is my free discovery session. I listen to them. I see where the points are. I connect the dots. I help them realize things they've already wanted to do. And then I give them a layout in a plan of how they can take the first steps. So there are some things, and I think there's a slide not in here, but I want to lay this out for you, and I'll do it in person live. There's some elements you want to write down for that page. One, the landing page has its own URL. Now, my landing page for free sessions on the chocolate strategy session are not on the homepage, and I do that very intentionally. I only want people to share that know about it. And I don't want crazy people every day contacting me like for free coaching for chocolate. Like that's not what I'm about. And so creating the landing page was easy. And what I did, and I want you to write down these elements, is one, empathy first for the problem that your client is facing. So think about what it is that they're needing. So Joyce spoke, and Joyce, it's got to be something about being really concerned about the economic situation and how to prepare yourself and be sustainable. Right? Diane, what do you do? Diane,
What do I do?
Yeah.
I'm a meal planning coach.
Great. So meal planning coach, right now, people are overwhelmed with getting their kids back into school and like trying to do the 10 million things that they didn't do from home. And eating healthy is probably one of the most important things that you could do to boost your immunity for COVID. And if you speak directly to them about the needs, then that free session becomes valuable. Sturdy, San Francisco, what do you do?
Business training and coaching.
Great.
For small business owners.
There definitely needs to be more assessments in coaching that are fun, engaging, right? Yeah. I don't know a single business coach that doesn't do a free discovery session and it's just like, nah. All right. So I'm going to finish this up. We're at 3:43 and then I'll open it back up to questions. This is me. I've worked with a lot of people. Really, my focus is small business owners who want profits, relationship, and impact. And what I said before about with me, without me, I mean it. Like, if you're not preparing that winter is coming, like it reminds me of Game of Thrones, like winter is coming. The economic crisis is coming. And you can be prepared for it, or you can wait until it's too late. And I'm not trying to scare you. I think there's a lot of opportunity. If you look at the top billionaires in the world, all of them have made billions in the last 4 months because they're prepared. So here's some offers that you might be interested in. This first one, pivotal marketing plan. What I do is I take your marketing and I make it really simple into one page that's really COVID era. So you're speaking to the needs and you're hitting the points that need to happen. We spend an hour, it's $147 and it's 100% guaranteed. So I don't take money until you've had the session. The second thing is chocolate strategy sessions. I did one with Joyce. I'd be happy to do one with you. We roll up our sleeves. We get some real strategy in place. You see what I do and you might want more. And then you send me chocolate because I like it. And at the bare minimum, my weekly easing is full of tips. So the latest one was 7 tips to rebuild community, because you're zoomed out. So how do you build community in a post-COVID era? And I send those out every week, and they're valuable. So that's what I have for you today. We have about 5 more minutes. I'm open to any questions. No question is not fair game. And I'm really here today because I believe in small business. I come from a small business background, my grandfather, my father, myself, and things are a little crazy, but we as small business owners know how to deal with crazy. It's like, we know that our services are still needed and people are scared. So there's things that we can do. That's my soapbox. Any questions?
I have one more.
Yeah, Diane.
You mentioned Eventbrite, and I've heard of it, and I think I know what it does, but they actually promote your challenges.
Yeah, they promote them. They build tickets for them. They sign people up. They give me the database. They allow me to use their back-end emailer, all for free.
Wow. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, go sign up for a free account.
Yeah,
and,
I'm going to do that.
It'll
for
make
sure.
It'll make your first challenge way easier than trying to do it through MailChimp or Constant Contact. Amy, you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I do have a comment, though. I've known Jason for quite a while, and he's done a one-page business plan for me. He did a promotion a couple of years ago. And actually, we've known each other for a long time. He said, I'll do yours for free. That wasn't right. I said, no, this is too good work. You need your paycheck. But it also rolled into the first video challenge I ever did. And he's really good at getting you comfortable with the reality of the way you need to do business from now on. If you're not ready to do things on the web, you're not going to be in business. So if you have any question whatsoever, I know a lot of people that have had business plans from Jason. It's really worthwhile doing, because he gets right. He's probably worked with somebody in your industry or a specific business, and he'll boil it right down based on what you're doing.
Thank you. Amy, I was picking on you. I used to teach at the graduate level, and so I got really good at just calling people out.
That's good. No, well, I'm actually planning to launch my part-time business in the fall.
Yeah.
I was mainly listening in, hoping to kind of get some creative juices around that. I'm still trying to figure out like how exactly I'm going to market and what, you know, my area of expertise is going to be. I've been dabbling and playing with a lot of things, and I'm pretty sure I know, you know, which direction I'm going to take. But my reason for listening in was just to kind of see if I could just get any ideas from, obviously from you. You're super creative, and just others as to, you know, when I do kind of launch this, I'm ready for the Facebook thing. I'm having challenges on Facebook. Like for my business page, I don't get as many likes, but when I promote it like on my personal page, I get more. So it's just kind of like figuring out what outlet to use and how to use it.
Yeah. So
in what way.
Well, there's a couple of things in there. One is you got 20 people just listening, and so don't be shy. Like, what's the part-time business?
Oh, well, I'm certified in a modality called body code. So I tap into your subconscious and kind of figure out imbalances within your body or your belief systems.
Yep.
So one of the things that I launched, and one of the things that I'm doing for free to see if it works, is what I call area of life consults. So I go through and energetically test the 9 areas of life that I've deemed to be valuable.
Yeah.
And then it just tests energetically where everyone is at with them, kind of what belief within that area is kind of holding them back, and offer them advice and affirmations and what I call a subconscious shift question.
Great. It sounds like that free offer is dialed in. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, people have been really responding, you know, they're like, holy crap, that was right on. And that was so accurate. So that has me really excited. So I think that's what I'm going to, you know, kind of the avenue I'm going to take in terms of challenges and kind of offering that free service, because it doesn't take me much time. And then it kind of shows them that, you know, I'm tuning into things that they're, you know, might be lacking in. So
Great. And so one of the questions I hear that you have is like your personal page or your business page, right?
Yes.
And so there's a rule of thumb on Facebook bylaws that says you're not allowed to promote paid services on your personal page. But I'm
breaking the rules.
So
okay.
I would say that you could get booted for that, but it's worth, for me, there's a strategy that I like, and that is I'll share something on my personal page because I have like 2,500 people over there, and then I'll share it over to my business page, and there's about 500 over there. And then I have an internal group of over 100 small business owners, and then I share it over there. So the share button is your friend when it comes to Facebook.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, this is what I want to tell all of you. If you are exhausted and Facebook makes you want to vomit, start building your strategy on LinkedIn, because everyone on LinkedIn is still like, your services can be seen and heard in a whole different way because people are doing business over there. So you can start to think B2B rather than, B2C.
Yep.
Great. Thank you for chiming in.
Yeah, thank you.
I can take one more and then we'll close out.
All right, I'll jump in.
Okay,
so
great.
The share button.
Yeah.
So
and who's speaking so I know?
Oh, sorry. It's Yvonne.
Yvonne, can you turn your camera on? Oh my God, you're lost in the jungle.
That's why it's not on. Anyway.
All right, Yvonne, go ahead. The share button.
So I have a personal Facebook page. Remember, I'm a financial advisor and I had a whole bunch of rules that have now since relaxed.
Yeah.
I can have a Facebook group.
Yeah.
But not a Facebook page, which is public.
Yeah.
Because then that's all considered advertising.
Yeah.
But if it's a group they have to agree to be in, then it's okay. So the stuff I put in my Facebook group, you're saying share some, not all of that in my personal page?
It's got to go the other way. I'm not sure you could, I'll have to verify this, but I'm not sure you can share from group to your personal profile, but you could share from your personal profile into the group.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, here's the beautiful thing about your group. You as a financial planner aren't allowed to create a group of clients because that breaks confidentiality. You can create a public group that clients just happen to be a part of.
Right.
And
exactly.
so I would, can I give you a few more pieces?
Sure.
Great. I would name that group something like Money Matters During COVID.
Okay. My group is Evolving Wealth with Yvonne.
Yeah, that's not bad. And you really, just start thinking about, like, everybody's thinking about money, but what really is going to help them? And then in that group, you can start to do educational pieces of, can everyone review their will, or can everyone take this step or that step? And then occasionally you can say, for more information, reach out for your private consult.
Okay. And I don't do that. So that's the piece that I'm missing.
Yeah, because you're not saying, I'm going to help you with X. You're saying for more information. So the financial legalese can't come down on you for just offering to help, because you're not helping with specifics, you're helping with information.
Right. It's obvious you've worked with financial planners in the past.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I have, and I love financial planners because most people don't mind their money, and they, someone like you helps them take baby steps. I think everyone should take a look at Robinhood. I think last year I learned how to take one client on Bitcoin. This isn't rocket science, guys. You just have to go into the world of uncomfortability because money doesn't make us super comfortable. All right. So this is my final invitation. Don't hesitate. Yes, I'd love to work more deeply with you and roll up my sleeves in a deep way. But if you just want a point of touch, I'm here. It's a genuine offer. because I know that you know people in your community that I can help more, and that's what I'm about. Small business people have to start coming together to help one another, because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it is going to get better. And we can do that together. So my tagline is together is better, and I truly believe that. Becky, I appreciate you having me. I'm going to send you a follow-up. I see a hand, like the PowerPoint gives you something, but it's really the words that matter. Does anyone want to copy the PowerPoint?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So Becky, I'm going to give you the PowerPoint and the links where people can sign up for my newsletter, a pivotal marketing plan, or a chocolate strategy session.
Very good. Very good. Well, thanks, Jason. And I will send out a replay to everybody. Jason, thanks for hitting record. I went to and you'd already done it. So that will happen later today or tomorrow. So thanks again, Jason. We really, really appreciate you. And bye, everybody. It's nice seeing everybody here. So glad to have you.
Nice meeting you all.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Very much.
Okay, I'm ending it. Oh, just you and me. Oh, just me.